Hello guys, I wanted to talk to you today about some conversations that have been had between some of the major media executives. So within the last few months, major media executives at companies such as Disney, NBC Universal, Warner Media, and Viacom CBS have all been talking about restructuring their business models, and they've all made announcements of major reorganizations since the summer. This all comes from recent outlooks and studies saying that, they expect that so much as 25 million U.S. households will be canceling their cable services and satellite TV services by 2025. So within the next 5 years, they're going to be facing substantial cable TV losses, and that's on top of the fact that over the last 8 years, since 2012, they've already sustained 25 million paid subscribers or households in losses. So 25 million they've already lost just in the last 8 years. So within this major reorganization, so we're seeing in these companies like Disney and NBC Universal, Warner Media, Viacom, CBS, they're all making adjustments, as in many of them have found new executives, or they've been converging departments. They've been just been restructuring their plans, and it has a lot to do with the fact that these companies are finally accepting that they're finally accepting the reality about cable TV, and that these cable programs are just not getting the same viewers that they were 10 or 15 years ago. And the shift is going, of course, mostly to online streaming platforms. And with the success of the recent Disney Plus, which has been Disney Plus made a good transition, a very successful transition into online streaming. So other companies are trying to do the same, and already there's been HBO Max, for example, is a new one, and Peacock, which is NBC's program or streaming platform, is Peacock, which is kind of a dumb name for your platform, but I guess so is Hulu, I suppose. So there's really no limit for what kind of ridiculous names you can come up with for anything digital, it seems like. But so it seems like what is holding out the strongest is news and sports. Shows like Fox News and CNN is, of course, still going pretty strong. And they know that the shift is mostly from younger people, millennial types. They've made that adjustment the most. But and what I mean by adjustment, I mean they're the ones moving towards streaming platforms the most, and going more digital. In fact, many people my age, even older, have never personally subscribed to a cable TV service. I know I haven't. I've subscribed to Netflix and Hulu. I've never paid for cable. That's more my parents' generation. So they realize that this is happening, that this is what's coming, and yeah. So sports packages and news packages are and they're still going strong on cable. They're pretty much the hardest thing to make that transition into streaming. But and it should be worth mentioning that there's going to be a Paramount Plus, a Discovery Plus, and an AMC Plus. So you're seeing a lot of these companies making that transition. Of course, after Disney did it, and Warner Media did it, and NBC Universal did it, as in Disney Plus, Peacock, and HBO Max. One of the three has been very successful. The other two less so. But Viacom has Paramount Plus, and then Discovery Plus. And honestly, I think AMC Plus is probably, if there's any hope for any of them to do particularly well. I mean, I've got a lot of good things I could say about AMC programming in general. I mean, if you just boil down between Mad Men and Breaking Bad and The Walking Dead, I mean, those three shows alone, those were three of the, especially Breaking Bad and Mad Men, as you might imagine. Mad Men's like my favorite TV show ever. So it makes sense that they're doing this, but some people are saying it's too late. They're too late to, these cable programs are too late to find room amongst streaming platforms, and possibly also too late to this study is all, or this conversation is also around the subject matter of, are these companies, these cable companies and content providers, are they too late to jump into streaming and launch their own service? And are they too late to get the best price for their programs if they were to sell to a bigger company? That's what's up for debate, because the clock's ticking on a lot of these companies. If they're trying to sell, their price or their ability to negotiate is they're losing their leverage, and they're also joining a online streaming platform that's already getting really saturated. I mean, there's so much content out there, and really 2/3 of it, no, more than that, I would say. I mean, it's boiled down essentially now to Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, and Hulu. So will these guys be able to make the transition this late in the game? We'll just have to wait and see. But this Paramount Plus, Discovery Plus, and AMC Plus, these are all going to be coming about within the next year, and that's on top of the fact that Disney Plus, Peacock, and HBO Max have all been released within the last year. So tons of new stuff, and most people haven't even, like, the amount of people who've actually heard of this content and are aware of it and have subscribed to it is minuscule. I mean, Disney Plus, maybe, people have heard of that, but a lot of, I study this stuff, and it's the first time I've heard of half of this content. So, all right, well, we'll just have to see what happens, won't we?